Netflix is about to go bankrupt. A company which was once worth $200 billion is now declining with every passing day. Its stock plunged from $690 to $319 in the last 18 months. Netflix has started losing relevance. The company is now taking all extreme measures to stay relevant in the fast-evolving streaming industry. But the question is, how a company as big as Netflix lost its power in just a few years? Let's find out. Netflix started in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. The idea of Netflix came to Reed when he was hit with a $40 fine by Blockbuster for returning a movie 6 weeks late. It was at that moment when he realized that the movie rental business needed a change. At that time, people only had one option where they could rent movies, and it was Blockbuster. Having no competition in the market, Blockbuster was charging whatever they wanted and fined heavily whenever someone returned the movie late. Basically, the movie rental business was broken. He realized that there was a huge gap in the market. In the 90s, renting a movie was expensive. Movies were recorded on big VHS tapes, packed in big boxes. People would visit rental stores, pick a movie of their choice, and pay somewhere between $2 and $6 to rent it. Reed came up with an idea of revolutionizing this business model and decided to launch a platform where people would be able to order movies through the internet, and a DVD would be delivered at their doorstep by mail. Reed's idea of delivering the product at doorsteps was inspired by Amazon. Jeff Bezos had recently launched Amazon, and Amazon had just proven this business model successful with book deliveries. Within 1 year of its launch, Amazon saw tremendous growth. The company was delivering books all over America. Reed had seen the success level of Amazon's business model, so he decided to replicate the same model in the movie rental business. After months of planning, Reed and Mark launched Netflix.com. Netflix became an instant success. On its first day of launch, Netflix received 137 orders. In the next 4 months, the company had crossed $94,000 in sales. Netflix took the world by storm. It had become the talk of the town. Netflix was offering a huge collection of movies at a low price and free home delivery. As time went on, the company continued to expand its team and continued to stockpile more and more movies in its collection. Meanwhile, Blockbuster failed to recognize Netflix as an emerging threat. They were so dismissive of Netflix growth that after a couple of years, when Netflix had become a famous platform, its founders offered to sell it to Blockbuster for just $50 million. But Blockbuster's CEO laughed off the offer. By the next 5 years, Blockbuster realized that it had made a huge mistake. They were the ultimate idiots for not buying Netflix because Netflix was on track to kill their business. They realized that Netflix is what consumers wanted. The Netflix model was the ultimate future. Netflix continued to grow. It started generating billions of dollars in revenue. By the end of 2007, Blockbuster was on its deathbed, and Netflix had annihilated all its competitors. In 2007, Netflix launched its online streaming service. Instead of renting DVDs, subscribers were able to stream movies and shows on their TVs, mobiles, and laptops. The online streaming service allowed Netflix to expand globally. By the end of 2010, Netflix had 99% of the revenue coming from its online streaming service. It had become clear to Reed that the future of Netflix was in streaming service. For Netflix, online streaming service proved to be the turning point because its subscriber base grew from 9 million to 20 million after launching the streaming service. Fast forward 4 years, Netflix was making billions of dollars and their fame was breaking the internet. Stock price of Netflix had reached an all-time high. But still, they didn't stop there. Netflix came up with the idea of producing its own content. Up till now, Netflix was licensing content. They didn't own any of the content streaming on their platform, which means if, for any reason, the license holders ever changed their minds and decided not to renew the contract, Netflix would have to remove the content from their platform. To handle this issue, Netflix decided to create their own content. In 2013 and 2014, Netflix started streaming their own productions on the platform. House of Cards and Orange is the New Black were the first 2 in-house productions of Netflix, and these 2 shows became one of the highest rated shows of all time. Everyone was talking about Netflix, and almost everyone wanted to subscribe to Netflix to watch these shows. Netflix knew that original content was the only way forward, so they continued to spend billions of dollars to produce high-quality content. Netflix had disrupted both the movie rental and cable industry with such high-quality shows. But all good things come to an end. Netflix became the victim of their own success. Up till now, Netflix was the king of the streaming industry, but its downfall started when new players started entering the online streaming industry. Every production company which produced movies and shows started developing their own streaming platforms. HBO, Disney, Paramount, Discovery, all these companies came into competition with Netflix. These companies also started pulling their content off Netflix to stream it on their own platforms instead. Netflix was filled with content from HBO, Disney and Paramount, but all that content was gone when those companies started their own streaming platforms. Quality content was everywhere. Netflix started losing subscribers left and right to other streaming platforms. The company decided to take a different path. They started greenlighting as many shows and movies as possible without keeping any check on quality. Netflix started streaming a lot of garbage content, which messed up its recommendation algorithm. Its customers were frustrated with such low-quality content, but Netflix management didn't take it as a warning and decided to do nothing about it. Netflix still remained afloat until the end of 2021 because Netflix was one of those few companies which benefited the most from the global pandemic. Its subscriber base grew substantially during the pandemic period. On the surface, everything looked perfect for Netflix, but something else was happening during the pandemic period. Netflix subscribers had started exploring other streaming platforms too, and they had realized that other platforms provided better content than Netflix at a more affordable price. In April 2022, Netflix stock price fell hard when the company announced that not only had they not gained any new subscribers, but they had also lost 200,000 subscribers. In just a couple of days after this announcement, Netflix lost $50 billion of their market cap. But things didn't stop there. Netflix stock price continued to sink even further when they announced their plans of making more money by increasing the subscription price to $16 in the US. They also started cracking down on password sharing, which made them even less popular. Netflix used to encourage password sharing, but now that it wants to make more money, it has started cracking down on people who share their passwords with friends and family. This is a complete U-turn by Netflix on its strategy when subscribers were growing. When nothing worked, the company came up with another idea. Netflix introduced a cheaper plan which had ads on it. So you'd still be paying to watch Netflix, but now you'd have to watch ads as well. The company, which once disrupted two different industries, is now struggling to stay afloat, and they've got nobody to blame but themselves.